Sometimes in life, you just gotta slide by your problems. On April 9th, 2022, come out to Caffeine and Octane presents That Dude in Blue's Just Drifted. With a car show, drifting all day long, and a halftime show full of drift games and stunt driving. So there's family fun for drivers and spectators alike. And if you can't get enough, head out on Friday night for Caffeine and Octane's Friday Night Drifts at Caffeine and Octane's Linear Raceway. Tickets on sale now at caffeineandoctane.com/just-drift-it. That's Caffeine and Octane presents That Dude in Blue's Just Drifted. This is Evan Shanks' Mitsubishi Evo 3. Now, the last time I drove an Evo was Adam LZ's Evo 5, where I said the Evo 5 was one of the first Evos powered by the 4G63. I was wrong in one aspect. What I truly meant to say was the 4G63 that we think about in the Evo. The Evo 3 uses the 4G motor that's very similar to the 2G DSM, the eclipses and talons and things of that nature. So my bad. The Evo 3 has a ton of character and personality, but also shows that Mitsubishi used to be way better than what they are now. So what's it like driving one of the earliest Evos ever in production? Let's go for a drive and find out. Evan Shanks.
Hi.
We met 10 years ago.
It's been quite the love story, actually.
What are we in, Evan?
This is my 95 Mitsubishi Evo 3.
Which I've never driven one of these, so I'm super stoked. And fun fact right before we get started, because there's gonna be cool noises and everything. The reason this sounds different than a lot of the other Evos is because this is still technically a DSM. So it basically uses what, the 2G Eclipse engine?
Yeah, so it's the 7-bolt 4G. It's backwards, like from like the 4.5 and on.
Evan, you wanted an Evo, which you had Evos in the past. You had the 10, you have an 8 now that you're building.
So I had a JZX90 that I really just didn't want anymore, and I actually kind of handpicked. I didn't go to Japan, but I handpicked this car to trade. There was a white one and a yellow one. I'm like, okay, I'll get the yellow, obviously. Yeah. So I traded JZX90 for it. That's pretty much it. I love the early Evos. I particularly like the 5s, but the 3s I know, the 1, 2s, and 3s were a little harder to find, and again, this was yellow, so I was like, yes. I want to say, I don't know the exact, it's less than 365, and I think it's more than 350. But of the yellow 3s that exist, there's not many, so they're pretty rare.
So what have you done to this one? Deep breath.
Yeah, aside from the aesthetic stuff, so it's got a lot of suspension work done to it. I did a really careful job of like lightly pulling the fenders so that it didn't crack any paint, but it also could keep the OE look and not flare anything out. Yeah,
it looks really nice. It doesn't look out of whack, you look at it. I love the white wheels on it.
Yeah.
I know white wheels are a huge pain to keep clean, but
yes, they are. Yes, they are.
But it's worth it.
It's got a bigger, it's actually not physically a bigger turbo, but internally it is. Force Performance makes something really cool for the DSMs and the early Evos called the 68 HTA. Okay. Which it's identical on the outside to the stock size turbo. Sure. But internally it flows, I want to say somewhere 10 times more.
So it's kind of like how people do like the pure turbo upgrades on like the new Type Rs and stuff.
Exactly, yeah. So this one's rated up to like high 400s on ethanol, or I think methanol is what it's rated as. So almost 500 horsepower, which we just run ethanol in this. We did a whole AN fuel system. We dropped the tank, so it's AN fuel system all the way there and back for the return. What I really find fascinating about the Evo 3 though is the interior's held up pretty well. What's so fascinating is like the materials in this dash and everything almost held up better than the Evo 10 did. Yeah. Isn't that crazy? I think after owning and working on this car for so long, you kind of see like, you ask yourself like, what the hell did Mitsubishi start doing at some point in time? The bumper, this is a weird point, but like the front bumper, this car was so rally inspired that the front bumper's attached to the frame of the car. Oh, wow, okay. Like there's nothing on this car that's like gonna flop around and stuff like that. It's feels solid. Yeah, this car was literally made to jump. Like, but between this and the RS, there's no difference except for gutted and caged. When you see the Evo 3 especially, that you're like, that definitely came from rally. Yes. The 5 did as well, but like the 5 is when they went real gnarly with the fenders and everything. That's the one thing. It's just 5 is. Yeah, 5's a good car, good looking
automatically already tell the difference in how the power comes on compared to the other cars.
Yeah,
like, it's
so this one's supposed to spool quicker, so it's bigger on the exhaust side and the compressor side.
Sure.
On the inside. And so right now, I think I just turned the boost down because it's a colder day, and I just had to turn the boost down. And,
earlier you rolled into it and it went, and did the whole car just like,
I hit a boost cut.
We're not doing this right now.
I think the boost cut is like 21 PSI. It's supposed to be at 18, so.
Oh my God. It really does show, like you said, Mitsubishi was a contender. You know, they really fought for their spot.
They were big boys back in the day.
But then, you're right. Eventually, about 10 years later, they started being like, what happened?
Now the Eclipse is a crossover.
Yeah,
we can be sad.
This turbo, just being an upgrade, it makes like the best noise.
It do be making cool sounds.
That's amazing.
It's a fun power band, dude. It's fun.
Well, it's really usable.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're like, okay, I'm not going to the moon, but I can still go around corners and have a bunch of fun. Ooh, nice brakes.
They're stock.
Oh, dude, yeah. It's all turbo noise. Like, the motor itself, you barely hear it.
I did that on purpose because I think that even though I love 4 cylinders to death, we muffled it a lot. It's straight piped, but it's to an HKS Carbon TI, which is a very big muffler.
It's like a super quiet, basically.
Yeah, so I wanted it to not be obnoxious.
To give you perspective, we let a car go ahead like for about a minute, and we just caught them that quick.
My tuner Trackstar, we came out and we just street tuned it, and it probably makes, it's on 19 PSI, probably like 400. So we gotta change the clutch, and you guys can't smell the video right now, but
I know, during the glimmer shots, we could smell it as I'm filming it.
I figured out as we were tuning that it is probably on stock clutch, so I have a new flywheel and clutch that's gonna be more than capable. But yeah, right now it's kind of holding on for dear life, so we're gonna do that, tune it. It'll probably be 450 or so.
People don't get that Evos, when they're like bolt on and well set up and you go around corners, it's like the best, right? Because you're flooring it around the corners.
The early spool, like the early spool time.
Yeah.
It's hard to beat.
When you start doing the hot boy, high horsepower stuff, like it does one thing well, you know? And that's about it.
You're not wrong.
Bum, 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 bum. We got a little burst there.
Yes, sir. I've never ridden passenger, and that's faster than I felt. I've thought.
I'm sensing a common theme here. I know. I saw it. Terrifying me.
It's like your butt dyno changes from the driver's seat to the passenger.
I always tell people, if you start getting bored of your car and you want to spend thousands of dollars to make it faster, find someone you trust. You go for a ride in it and go, oh, it's really not as bad as I thought.
You'd probably make me poop myself in my Supra, I'm not gonna lie.
How's the turning radius? Oh my God.
Told you.
Oh,
told you, 3-point needed.
I'm not even.
3-point needed.
I'm not even doing it.
Yeah, my goal with this car, one, because of the rarity, I didn't want to do too much to it.
Sure.
I wanted to be able to like make it cool looking and cool feeling, update the drivability for it, make it faster, but without sacrificing like how the car was supposed to be.
Yeah.
And so, like with my other Evo, I'm going full send with a 2.2 long rod and, you know, huge horsepower. But yeah, this one I wanted to kind of keep it era correct and feel and look like it was from the 90s.
It feels like it, and I love how it drives. Honestly, I think I wouldn't change a thing. It's just fast enough. It looks the part, all that good stuff. Big bump.
Thanks.
So when you got this car, did it have any weird imported car things? Does that make sense?
So it had we had to take it out to get power for my AFR gauge, but it had in Japan, every car has to have a toll, or every car that drives has a toll reader.
Like where it's like, it makes all weird
so
noises.
you turned it on and it said, Hado orete kudasai, which means like, please insert your card.
Oh,
and so it was kind of fun. I've noticed a lot of people over there still use cassettes in these cars.
Yeah, they do.
So I keep all of them. it's all written in Japanese, but it's like there's a nice collection of things. I can't. Like I couldn't reach forward.
I know.
That was great.
$100 bill game, bro. Well, Evan, is there anything else you'd like to add?
Something's scraping.
Yeah.
Probably, it's probably one of those little plastic thingies that don't have any ties, don't have any clips anymore. It's all good. It happens.
How can people find you?
Was that what?
How can people find your channel?
My channel is just my name, Evan Shanks. The search bar does wonders.
Wow, you're calling people lazy? Just type that.
No, just like that's how you do it.
I'm just kidding.
You're not lazy.
Well, my guy, thank you for letting me drive the Evo.
Of course.
I've had a great time, and at the same time, we'll drive your IS next. It'll be a fun time.